All right, well, that was horrifying to watch. It's a really rough situation now at Auburn. You're in a situation where, your most winnable SEC game outside of maybe Vandy, which they're going fucking blow for blow with Missouri right now. So, your most winnable SEC game is now probably out the window, and you don't know who your quarterback is. Hank, he came in, he did some good things, then ended up making a bunch of freshman mistakes, Personally, I would have just finished the game out with Hank, let him figure it out, just make sure of what you've got. But, he decided to pull him, and the offense seemed to get a little bit better with Peyton at times and rough at times. So, it's a rough situation. The moment that Peyton came in, it seemed like the running game went to bed. They seemed to respect Hank's arm a lot more than Peyton's. Peyton came in. He did some good things. Peyton played well enough. I don't think Peyton was the problem. His one pick, it bounced right off Cam's hands. Very, very similar to what happened against Cal. But, really, this is just what happens when you play a lot of young guys, but you still have to figure out ways to win these type of games. And I don't exactly even know what's wrong. That's the biggest issue. Usually, the years under Gus, there was major issues with offensive scheme. I don't think there's issues with offensive scheme. I don't think there's issues with play calling. Pass protection seems decent enough. Quarterback play at times is okay, and it's just wildly inconsistent, so I don't exactly know what the problem is. So I don't know how we're going to fix the issue. Now you're going up. We could really, we might be 2-5 coming out of the Missouri game, realistically. And so then now you're fighting tooth and nail, where you have Kentucky and UL Monroe and A&M and Bama coming up, to where you're fighting your fucking ass off to just get to a bowl game. So, who knows really where this goes from here. At this point, it's really just a one-game season. Every week, you have to make a bowl game. You cannot regress. Otherwise, that seat's going to start heating up. So, really, I don't know who's going to start next week. I'd assume it's Peyton, but I really don't know, because Peyton came in and on the last couple drives, he was taking sacks again, and he seemed like the same exact guy. So, really, again, I would have probably just finished the game out with Hank, but Peyton came in, he played well enough. It wasn't on Peyton. Hank was just making freshman mistakes, really. He either tried to fit it into a window or Rivaldo, or he just didn't see the backer drop in, or whatever. He assumed he had the outside hitch. He threw it blindly, and you can't do that. And then the other one, he literally missed Sam Jackson by about this much. So, really, I don't know where we go from here. I personally would just roll with Hank, because then at least you have a fallback. You can say, well, I was sticking with a redshirt freshman quarterback and trying to develop whatever. But I don't know. I get why he pulled Hank. You're trying to just win the game, and you think, okay, this guy has experience. And he came out and he operated decently up until the last couple drives. But there are a lot of issues. Defense balled out, by the way. I just want to give them credit. They killed out there. They came out and just were a completely different unit in this one. Kayan Lee caught a pick. The run game was essentially shut down at a lot of points, and we were filling gaps really well until we ran out of gas, which is just going to happen if you're playing that many snaps. Sorry if you can see my hand. I'm holding it. Don't judge. But, you definitely don't feel good going into Oklahoma, but you're in it now. You're in the toughest part of your schedule now, and there's nothing you can really do. You're 2-2. You got to get 5, in my opinion. Go out here and find a way to get 5. Not 5 wins for the season. 5 more wins. You got to figure it out. Oklahoma is a winnable game. A winnable game if you prepare correctly and you go in with a good game plan. You can win that one. Georgia, not so much. Missouri's winnable. Kentucky's winnable. A&M's winnable. ULM, winnable. Vandy, winnable. Bama, I don't know. I don't know about that one. But you have winnable games ahead of you, but you have to figure it out. You have 10 games to get 5 more wins. And I don't want to hear no excuses. All right, I get it. We're playing a lot of young cats. But, Caleb Harris had an incredible game today. Shout out to him. Malik Blockton played very well. Cam Coleman, he's a true freshman. Offensive line was okay. We were in 5-man protection a lot. That's tough. Malcolm Simmons played pretty well. He created something out of nothing multiple times. That's really all I got. War Eagle.